Hi, you guys, and welcome to Nosy Bystanders Live. I am your host, Chief Nosy Bystander. And today we're going to be reviewing this very short 30-minute video from our good friend, Mr. Darius Cooks, because he had a lot more to say. Okay. We're going to also be live this evening at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, because I want to go over the live streams that Tasha K did last night. Now, she sat down with The Wiley Show and she sat down with somebody by the name of King Payne and two live streams last night. So we're going to review those and see what was all said and or talked about. Okay. But first, before we get started, let's see who's all in the building. Okay. It's Saturday and it's early. Hello, Amber. Hello, Courtney. Hello, Mimi. Hello, Jazzy Old Lady. Hello, Stephanie. You said, I've got questions, but I'm here. Hello, Auntie Tonisha. Hello, Phyllis. Hello, Missy. Hello, Quanda. Hello, Nosy or Inquisitive. Hello, Bo Lady. Hello, Shan. Hello, Brenda. Brenda, how you doing today? Hello, Angelar. I think it's Angelar. Hello, Cami. Hello, B. Ashlyn. Hello, Lucky Lady. Hello, Cree. Hello, it's giving Gabriel. Hi, Josh. She says, hey, Nosy fam. Took my lunch break at the right time. Right on time. Okay, so let's see who all else is here. Hello, Cassandra. Hello, Zandra. Hello, Queen Sugar. Hello, Lil Kim. Hello, is it Revora? Hello, Revora. Hello, Postop ATL. Hello, Bentley's My World. Hello, Deja. Hello, Gina. Hello, Antoinette. Hello, Ty Rich. Okay, so if I missed you, I apologize, but we got people on a lunch break, so let's just get into it. I'm just gonna fast forward through him waiting for his audience to get there.
We have a lot to discuss. I'm just putting this in.
Here we go.
Good morning. I'm on the East Coast. West Coast, so it's still morning over here. Make it quick. You on your lunch break? Yeah, I ain't gonna be in here for a long time. I just want to pop on real fast. I was reading some of the headlines, read some of the things that was going on, and I said y'all might want me to come live. First of all, y'all still mad at me? It seems like I guess yesterday, the day before, and I think the day before that, so like the last 3 days, I probably pissed off a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So
now first, he did make a lot of people angry, but he was driving some pretty valid points. And y'all know I hate to agree with Darius Cooks because he get on my nerves. Now first, he did make a lot of people. Hold on a second. Where's that playback coming from? That's weird.
I'm not sorry.
Right. So he does annoy me, but at the same time, though, he had a lot of valid points.
Two, don't be upset with me. Personally, I don't feel like this is my personal opinion, right? I normally look at my actions and parallel those to my core value system. And I don't see anything wrong. So you might, and that's okay. That's why we're two different people. At the end of the day, though, I think regarding this whole grandmama holla situation, you will realize that when your feelings come down, I ain't saying nothing nobody wasn't thinking. I ain't saying nothing to intentionally piss people off. Never said anything degrading, demoralizing, and offensive. So, and I wouldn't do that. That's just not who I am. So, am I coming to the funeral? No. I'm sure if I walk into that funeral, their family would have me escorted out, number one. Number two, I am in San Francisco for work. So I'm out in Northern California for dining with Darius Cooks. So I wouldn't be able to attend a funeral anyway. My grandfather passed away last year. My uncle passed away late last year. The funeral was last weekend. And I couldn't go to the funerals because I had to work. So, sad stuff. But the reality is that when you are committed to doing something and something else comes up, you just can't do it. You know what I mean? So you just gotta like.
Yvonne, he stated he didn't actually say anything. He just threw out questions that basically everybody was asking. So the Lottery Frappe and Laughs is a digital creator on Facebook with about 1 million followers. And the star of that page, Mrs. Hala, had passed away, and her grandkids had started a GoFundMe for her funeral services. So he literally was just speaking out loud, like, how do you have a million followers and you're in the creator fund on Facebook and you don't have $10,000 to bury the star of this page? That's all he was doing, was just talking out loud, like thinking out loud. And that's when the family attacked.
It is what it is. So I will not be attending anybody's funeral unless it's like in the middle of the week and I'm off, then that's different. But I'm out here in California. So yeah, I don't think I said anything necessarily too crazy. I think I gave you a different perspective to look at. I think I just took what we knew. And I think also you got to remember that these people opened their mouths first. Like, I didn't like salaciously uncover and expose. I just commented on what they said. Like, if they wouldn't have gone live, I wouldn't have had nothing to comment on. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that they went live first. I just commentated on what they went live about. So if that's a sin, if that's wrong, then that's fine. Then I'll be wrong, and I guess God will deal with me and karma and all that. But child, all I did was say what they said. And furthermore, y'all also said I talked about that girl teeth. First of all, I didn't talk about that girl teeth. I repeated what that girl said about her own teeth. All right. I don't know that girl to talk about her teeth like that. She said that. She said in the video, she said, you think if I had money, my teeth would look like this? That was she said. Then she said in the video, we don't even get our hair did. They from St. Louis, how they talk down there in St. Louis. We don't even get their hair did. Okay, so you'd be like, oh, okay. They not mad at me. Okay, good. They not mad, but some of y'all show, I mean, ooh, y'all was in my inbox, at my comment section, letting me have it. And then how I eloquently laid it out on YouTube. Look, somebody said, you're wrong. Sad and pitiful. Just a mess, ain't I? I'm just a sad, pitiful, hot mess.
He wasn't wrong. Y'all already know I don't like Darius Cooks, and I will call him out when he was wrong. But he's not. Those are real valid questions when it comes to digital creators. At what point do they stop just like taking so much from their audience and are accountable for what they're really making? Like, there's no transparency in what digital creators make. So people start to have questions when every time they open their mouth, their wallets are also their hands are also out. So people are just like, people can support digital creators however they want to, but at what point do we have to stop supporting them and just be like, okay, so now we're paying for funerals? You know what I mean? Like, that's what he was really saying. Like, they didn't mind buying her frappes and sending her cash for her birthday. We're talking about Mrs. Hala and all those other things. But when people are like, so we're supposed to take care of you in life and death, okay, now we got questions, and people should have questions. If you don't have questions, that's fine. Don't have questions. But those are real questions that people ask, because at some point you're going to start to bleed your audience dry, and then they will start to what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it, but they'll start to really dislike you for it, right? They'll start to despise you for it too. Like, geez, so we got to pay for life and death? Well, dang. You know what I mean?
It is bad. Well, don't be mad at me. I mean, you could be mad at me, but we're in a relationship, so you'll be mad today. I'll make you some cheese grits. You'll be good tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, plain and simple. So don't be mad at me. Number one, turkey leg hut. Can we discuss real fast? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Okay. First of all,
Turkey leg hut. Yeah, they people are literally going around saying that the lawsuit isn't real. It's real. It's real. The lawsuit is real. I had a mutual friend of mine who works at the US Foods. I'm not gonna tell you who they are. And they said that the CEO told them that the lawsuit was fake and not to discuss it online. Then I had to pull it up on the literal or pacer.gov website, because it's in a federal court. It is real. It's not fake. It's a real lawsuit. So the fact that the CEO will come out and tell people, oh, don't talk about it, it's fake. Here's my thing. I don't think a bunch of legitimate news stations with licensing would willfully disseminate libel and slander, I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would say this is the story we're going to risk our licensing for. Highly doubtful. That's highly doubtful. So all the black people in the comment section saying the story's fake, get a life. It's not fake. It's very much real. If you don't want to do your own research, keep your comments to yourself. Okay? It's that simple. The Turkey Leg Hut agreed in a written affidavit to the Northern District of Illinois that they were willing to pay the $85,000 that they had owed on top of 1.5% interest and lawyer fees. They agreed to it and signed it. So the fact that all these black people are like, oh, this is fake news, this ain't real, that lawsuit's not real. The Prices said that they didn't even get no summons to court. No, they got it. They just ignored it. It's that simple. Stop falling down all these rabbit holes of conspiracy theories because you just simply just can't understand how somebody could just miss a court summons. You just couldn't understand. It happens all the time, you guys. People miss court dates literally all day, every day since the inception of court. People have been missing court dates their whole lives. Okay? It's not a conspiracy theory against a black turkey leg hut. Be for real. And all this wild, all these people in my comment section talking about, oh, you just spreading fake news. So you want me, someone who has licensing, to risk my licensing to share a fake news story? You think the 3,800 news stations with licensing would risk all of that for the turkey leg hut? When all you have to do is just go pull up the court documents yourself? Who's the turkey? Ain't nobody risking they how they eat and how they live for the turkey leg for a turkey leg hut, a after hours nightclub lounge spot that sells turkey legs. Come on, y'all. Be for real. Be for real. I'm already annoyed by that story. I'm just glad I quit covering it. Like, the fact that they got y'all fooled is hilarious. The fact that you'll believe two people who refuse to pay a debt over news organizations who pulled the 56-page complaint. Donald Trump got you. He got y'all in a whirlwind when it comes to fake news.
People say that they owed them $85,000. I don't know how 85 turned into $1 million. I'm sure there's more to the story that we don't know about. But for a place like Turkey Leg Hut, $85,000 a week in food sound about right.
Yeah, but they just didn't pay it. Now the fact that they missed that payment could be for a number of reasons. It could be because they had individuals who took care of paying US Foods at the end of every week. Because remember, US Foods delivers food to them almost like sometimes 2 times a week, and they failed to pay the invoice. But Turkey Leg Hut signed that affidavit. They signed it. They said, okay, we're sorry we didn't pay it. We even paid a 1.5% interest and we'll pay your attorney's fees. That's fine. We'll pay it. So the fact that they're coming out talking about, oh, I didn't know that existed, is crazy to me. It's crazy. It happens, you guys, all the time. It's not new. Ain't nothing new about it.
Okay. Honey, that woman is at peace. The moment she died, she was at peace. To be absent in the body is to be present with the Lord. What is she? Gone. Present with God. Ain't nobody think about us. All right. She at peace. It be the ones who ain't dead talking about something. Let her be at peace. Die first so you can see how peace feel, and then come back and tell her. You can't, can you? Exactly. When I had restaurants, like Soul Crab, we would do probably about $40,000 a week in groceries. Yes, about $45,000 a week in groceries.
He not lying. Now, granted, he didn't pay his employees, but he not lying about that bill. I used to manage a restaurant here, and they kept their costs pretty low. But even then, the lowest they could keep it was like 25,000 a week. You can't keep it that low, and you can get your food from different places. You understand what I mean? So, and US Foods was one of their distributors. And you would pay them your invoice every time they came to the door. They had that yellow paper, and you handed them a check. It was that simple. It was that simple. Let me get to some of your comments. This is from Shell says, I think what he's saying is deeper than the bill. Yeah, it is. It's the bill plus 1.5% interest plus legal fees. That's why it's 1.1 million. Because US Foods isn't, they don't got a bunch of crackpot lawyers from Chicago. They have a legal team, which can be comprised of anywhere between 5 and 4,000 attorneys. And even if an attorney just looks at a paper that comes across his desk and moves it to the next attorney, you have to pay that attorney's legal fees. So they have a dream team of attorneys. That's why the legal bill is higher than what the invoice is. This one, Antoinette says, I've been to a turkey leg hut. It's ghetto, and I like ghetto, but I believe they owe money. This is from Tasha says, so holla people need money for the funeral? Yeah, they raised it already. They raised $50,000 for the funeral. So they got that money. So Darius a blogger now? No, I think he just keep keying. Right? We're all allowed to kiki. This is from Jassy said holla. Yeah, she raised $50,000 for that. This is from Joanna said what happened to Circular Hut? They got sued for owing an $85,000 bill plus interest and lawyers fees that they didn't pay. That's why they're being sued. This from Ernest says, I understand my grandma didn't have insurance and it's hard to get insurance at that age. It is. But at the same time, there's receipts of them bragging about making $150,000 in 1 month alone on Facebook. The fact that they couldn't have just put aside 10,000 to bury her, that's what people found odd.
We do 2 grocery hauls. We get one on Monday and one on Friday. No, one on Tuesday and one on Friday. Tuesday will be for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday would be Friday, Saturday. Well, you can't prep for the day of. So I guess Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we get an order on Friday, place an order on Thursday, get it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, place an order on Monday, get it on Tuesday for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's how it works in a restaurant. But so 40 grand, like I could see that easily being something like that. But them owing, I can't see that. I can't see people at Turkey Leg Hut get ready to owe them people all that money. Something is going.
Sounds like they had, it doesn't sound like an accumulation of invoices. It sounds like one invoice wasn't paid. That's what it sounds like. You understand what I mean? Because if Turkey Leg Hut was clearing $85,000 in sales probably every 2 days, $85,000 grocery bill sounds like a 1 week's worth of an order. It sounds like an 1 week's invoice that was not paid. That's what it sounds like. Could have been overlooked.
And let me tell you something. This is what I said in my comment. In my post. I have mad respect for the Houston chefs. Mad respect, all of them. Okay, the ones that's popular, the ones that's not popular. I have mad respect for them all because let me tell you something about these Houston chefs. Y'all have been gunning for these Houston chefs forever. Y'all been gunning for Mark Holly. Y'all been gunning for Don Bowie. And you've been gunning for Lynn and Slim Price. Now, I know Lynn and Slim, I know they're not, I know they're not chefs, but they're entrepreneurs. They own stuff. And I don't know all the details. But I know y'all been gunning for them Houston hot spots for a minute, right? For a minute. Especially with Don Bowie. Like I know y'all was every time I go to Taste, it'd be 4-5 hours to get in. The line down the street. Every time when Taste was on, what was it, Bagsby or Bigsby or whatever that street was, when it was over there. And then y'all thought he was gonna be down and out, right? So I'm like, I know my man got something up his sleeve. Next thing you know, bam, he go opening up Taste downtown, and it looks gorgeous. With the 2 floors, it's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I said, nobody can. Marcus over, man, so many people have been gunning for a minute.
I'm trying to fast forward.
The first thing people want to do is going to run to the internet and start talking about it. Present company. Oh God. At least this Grandma Holla stuff had been out for a while before I said something about it. It wasn't like it had just came out and I read the social media. I sat on it for a little bit. Believe it or not, I sat on it for a little bit. Thank you so much. I appreciate the compliments. Thank you. But the first thing people want to do is they want to go talk about it. And I want to make sure I'm very clear that
you said it seems like Darius has paid YouTubers to speak on his behalf and agree to his points. Darius ain't paying nobody. You think he paying us? That's a serious question. Darius Cooks don't pay nobody. He's not a media head. Does that make sense? So you have no reason to pay the media to agree with him. Girl, you smoking crack. Ain't nobody agreeing with him. His points are valid, regardless if you like him or not. I don't like Darius Cooks. We've done tons of stories on him and his business dealings, but I don't like him. But he's absolutely correct on this notion here.
There is more to the story between what took. As a matter of fact, I seen Lynn post something. I think he deleted it, but he posted something about. Hold on, what he posted because I ain't really read it. I can't even tell you. It was something about the lawsuit. I was gonna go back. Let me see if it's still there. Knowing him, because he a firecracker. You know, he like me. He don't give a shit. I looked under here, and then it's gone.
Yeah, he deleted
This
it.
white reality surely hold tight. Hold on, and she knows how we rock. All of them do from the photo, due to the lady that's running for office. But it was a post he had put up. And the only reason I saw it because I follow him. And I saw it on my timeline yesterday. But I don't really be like following stuff closely. You know, I just want to be in the know a little bit.
We all want to be in the know. Let me get some of your comments. Yeah, Gia, I don't know what you're talking about. This from Rich Business says, so he chose to stand up when she died. I guess, but you guys, everyone has the right to come out and put bits and pieces together. Now, he probably had been noticing stuff because, like, oh, they spend a lot of money, but you really don't see. Now, this is just alleged that Mrs. Hollow was spending all that money, and then when she passes away, they asked for the GoFundMe, and then people are like, he was like, maybe his suspicions were right. You understand what I mean? So, look, I'm trying. This from Weston says, a lot of times we don't take advantage of our benefits. Unfortunately, I had to get my mother-in-law about retirement. Yeah. Call Me Darling says, Darius is the last person who should be running. Literally the last. But at the end of the day, it's not like he's wrong. He's absolutely correct. This from Gia says, how is he being highlighted on business practices and scamming? We're not talking about business practices. We're not talking about US Foods. We're talking about Mrs. Holla, who is a large digital creator who passed away. That's what we're referring to. He was saying that there's more to the story with Turkey Leg Hut, but this story today is referring only to Mrs. Holla. He's kind of like switching in between both stories. So we're just trying to listen to all of it. This from Aquarius says, Darius don't want to pay the people who work for child. He show don't. This from Cookie Woods says, that's so funny. That's Darius' problem now. He don't pay people. He show don't. This is Call Me Darling says, let me call Andrew Caldwell. Don't call Andrew. Do not call Andrew. This is from Bo Lady says he was cooking and then started talking, not standing up, just saying, and then they got on him. It's from Gia says influence matters. He gains by getting people to view him as valid. No, he doesn't. He gains by being just outward and salacious. There's a difference. Do you understand? Most of Darius Cook's followers who support him, even through all those allegations of all those times he was doxing people and harassing people and not paying his employees and closing restaurants and dragging people across the internet, most of his followers who supported that are because they aren't engaged in a parasocial relationship. It's a one-sided relationship, which are normally healthy, right? Parasocial relationships include like Britney Spears fans and Beyonce fans, the Beehive. Those are parasocial relationships that are typically healthy. But the individuals who engage in parasocial relationships with Darius, because they do his bidding, they're the ones who send him the information so he can dox people and all that other stuff. That is an improper relationship to be having with your supporters. That is not healthy. So he doesn't gain views because he's valid. Darius Cooks has propelled himself on a high platform because the most of the people who support him are delusional. Do you understand? Big difference.
Yeah, I never said I was a chef. Don't get it twisted. I can play one on TV. But I wouldn't really pigeonhole myself into even being a chef. I'm more of I call myself an entrepreneur in the food space. If someone asks me, what do? I say I'm an entrepreneur in the food space, right? Because see, I can cook, and you can't really encompass that to just one thing. I am multifaceted, and
I'm gonna fast forward.
I don't know why people don't keep up with stuff for real. Well, who mad Turkey Leg Hut? Why are you mad? What's the mad for? I don't think I understand. Why would you be mad at Turkey Leg Hut? I don't see anything wrong with turkey leg hut. You ask me, I ain't got no problem with it.
The only problem I have with Turkey Leg Hut is the gaslighting of the audience. That's the only thing I don't like. You missing paying an invoice is one thing. That's just one thing, okay? That's just one thing. But it's the gaslighting of the audience that I'm not a big fan of. It's the gaslighting of the audience I'm not a big fan of telling people, going around the internet telling people that the lawsuit is fake. Don't do that. Just pay the bill. They got 1.6 million, just pay it. But don't get across the internet having people out here thinking that people who are reporting on this news story is fake. That's the only issue I have with Turkey Leg Hut. The fact that they missed to pay an invoice is not a problem. The reason why they agreed to pay that 85K plus the 1.5% plus or the 1.5% interest plus lawyer fees is because US Foods is probably their only distributor in that Texas land area. And if you lose a contract with them, it'd be difficult to find that many turkey legs on a daily basis. So I think they agreed to pay those fees because where else are you going to find truckloads full of turkey legs? Do you understand what I mean? So no, it's the gaslighting of the people like, oh, this is fake. This ain't real. We gonna get this straightened up because the news was reporting fake news. Don't do that. You could have just came straight out and said it like, yo, here's the truth. We forgot to pay an invoice. They called us a couple of months later, said, hey, you missed this invoice. Now, because you missed it, you owe us this percentage in these lawyer fees and y'all got to pay it. And all you had to say, and a real flex would have been like, we about to send them a $1.1 million check tomorrow because we going to stay in business. That's all they had to say. That's all they had to say. I know they got it. I know they do. If anybody got 1.1 million cash liquid available right now, it's that Turkey Leg Hut. So the fact that they didn't just say that, right? Like, oh, we got that. That ain't nothing. We about to pay. We about to get our attorneys on the line and we're about to pay that because ain't nobody shutting us down for no past due bill. It was a simple error in accounting and we missed that invoice. That's all they had to say because literally that's all US Foods said. It was a missed invoice. That's it. But going around gaslighting people and shit, I'm not with that. I'm not with that because that makes me look bad because I got people in my comment section on TikTok fighting me tooth and nail, talking about this is a lie, you're lying, it's fake news, that's a lie, that case don't exist. I searched it, not even knowing how to use a federal website to search federal cases. That's the problem that I got. That's the problem I got. That's my biggest problem. That United States citizens don't know that the United States only has 13 federal courts. The problem I got is that United States citizens don't know how to search United States cases that are held at federal courts. That's a big problem for your civic duty. The fact that you don't even know how to do that. And if you can't even look up a simple case and there's only 13 courts, I have a problem with individuals saying that they go and vote. I'm going to start not believing half of y'all, period. The simple fact that most people don't even know where federal cases are held is a problem. The fact that most individuals are doing Google searches to find this case is a big problem. And when they say that the United States on average has a reading comprehension of the 8th grade, I'm starting to believe it. I'm not gonna let nobody come in here and try to gaslight me and then try to put my degree up like it don't mean nothing. I know exactly how federal courts work. I know exactly where federal courts cases are held. And the simple fact that people are like, I Google searched it, it's not there. That's a problem. That's a big problem with education in this country. Period. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm like, y'all don't know where federal cases are held? They literally tell you that in like the 9th grade. I'm worried. I'm worried. I'm I be worried, y'all. I be real worried.
So I don't know why people would be mad at Turkey Leg Hut. I don't think there's a reason to be upset with them. But in general, people get mad at anybody for doing something that they ain't do. People always. Wait, hold on. Are y'all serious? Did Janice and Shell say they want to be the sending pots and pans for real? Or y'all just saying that? You laying in the bed worried about then go cook something. Seems like you bored. Ain't nothing like a gossiping man. Honey, your syntax, honey. Your syntax. Please fix that. Okay? You need English 098 immediately.
Not English 098, honey. That if you don't know, that's level 1 English. Let me read some of your comments here. I said, why you always send cheap off? Cause I just be like, it'd be hurting my head. I just want us to all have a basic understanding of stuff. So when I talk about stuff, it's not kabuki theater to you. You're like, oh, that's crazy. I want us to have a basic understanding of stuff. When we talk about specific stories, they're either, I'm telling you guys, they're either going to be in a handful of places. They're usually not going to be far. They're going to be in the Fulton County Superior Court, Atlanta. They're going to be Harris County, Texas, and they're going to be in the Los Angeles County Superior Courts, LA, California, right? And then the other cases that we're always going to discuss are usually in the one of the 13 US federal courts, specifically the Eastern District of New York. I'm sorry, the Eastern District of the Southern District of Manhattan, the Eastern District of New York, right? There's only 13 places to find most of the cases we talk about. There's not many. There ain't many. Okay. So I just need everybody to get a foundational understanding. Google is not going to help you find a lot of these cases because, and let me tell you why. The reason why Google's not going to help you find a lot of these cases is because these superior courts, district courts, and federal courts are no dummy to gossip. They're not dumb. They know gossip is king. So they gonna charge you. And we know because I have 2 accounts with the Fulton County, actually 3, the Harris County Clerk of Courts, the Fulton County Superior Courts, and the Los Angeles County Superior Courts. We have accounts, literal paid accounts. Anytime I need to look up something, they charge me. And I know they charge me because I see the charges, okay? Every single document, you can't even click that one stroke without them charging you $1.50. And imagine how many times you click when you're searching for documents. Sometimes at the end of when I'm done searching for cases, I'm ending up paying $30, $40, $50, $60 just for one case. And that it doesn't even include the hearings, discovery evidence, or other things. They know gossip is king. So they put everything behind a paywall. Everything is behind a paywall, including the 13 district courts. And the reason why they put it behind a paywall, because they're like, y'all know y'all want this tea, so come pay for it. Might as well make some money somehow. And they gonna get it. They gonna get our bread, then leave. Okay. That's just how they gonna do it. They gonna get our bread and leave. So when I say that, you have to have an understanding of when I say something, just know, okay, Stephanie's probably talking about something in one of these courts, and most media companies are not going to jeopardize their licensing to come out with a fake salacious story. That would be crazy. That would be nearly insane. It would be completely insane. This from Rich Business says, we couldn't graduate without passing over. Not even close. This from Aquarius says, everyone knows the bed is Darius' favorite place to go live. Darius is so messy. This is from Jazzy Old Lady says, some people said Hala was money hungry, not knowing that's what Shell told her. You get money if you go live. This is Hala wouldn't know anything. She don't know nothing about the internet. And Shell acting like she don't know nothing about how monetization works. That's a bold face lie. Because when you showed me that paperwork, Jazzy Old Lady, those copyright, oh honey, she knows. She knows. This from a messy vlog says, that's why I love your vlog. Thank you, girl. This is from Aquarius says, hold up. Shell is always telling Hala, don't ask for money. Yeah, there's a reason for that. So there's a number of things that you can't do when you're live streaming, right? So like somehow I get away with it, but I think it's because I'm in the YouTube gods are just looking out for me. I can't tell you guys to watch ads. I can't tell you that. I could literally be demonetized for telling you to do that. What I also can't do is ask you for money. Like I can't just be like, oh, can you guys send $100 to my PO box? I can't do that. I also can't swear a lot. So there's a certain things the algorithm, because we have moderators who watch our channel when we go live. So there's certain things you just can't do because you will get demonetized for it. So if she was asking people for money, then they could be demonetized for that. So the reason why you would see her limit what Mrs. Holla could say is because she was trying to protect and save them in the creator fund on Facebook. That's why. So there's certain things that you just can't do when you're live streaming, right? Like I can't just take my shirt off and show you my breasts. I get demonetized for that. You understand what I mean? So there's certain things that you just can't do, or you can get a lot of trouble. I mean, you lose your monetization. You understand? All right, let's finish listening to what Darius says. He almost done.
Okay, she need introduction to English because baby, that syntax is all over. Oh, they not mad at me no more. What they said? I ain't sending y'all nothing. First of all, they mentioned me on their line. They said they're not mad no more. Okay, good. That's good because we could be in this thing together. They need a person like me in their life. They probably wouldn't owe so many taxes if they had me in their life. Let me stop messing with these people. Let me stop messing with these people. Okay. I think that's amazing. They said they want me to send them some pots and pans. Honey, they got $47,000 in GoFundMe money. They can place the order. Okay.
He's so messy.
They legit just got $47,000 in GoFundMe money and about 18 other GoFundMes sitting around. They'll be all right. They can afford it. Okay. They could afford some pots and pans. Tell them I said call me.
He's so messy.
I ain't sending them nothing for free. Oh, them things, they were so mad at me. I'm so glad they not mad no more. That's wonderful. We could be friends. Well, we can't be friends. I don't know them. And it's too many of them, child. And they might be trying to gang up on me or something. I mean, I'm from Chicago, so you got to be careful. I can't talk shit. Well, I really ain't talk shit, but I can't talk shit and just shoot marbles with you. That's the code. I can't do that. We don't do that. Anyway, I just wanted to pop on for a second. Make sure y'all good. I'm about to go to the gym. Give me a little workout in right fast. A little midday workout situation. And we'll be good to go out here and dine with Darius Cooks. All right. Part of this video, I am gagging. Oh, let me show you real fast.
I think he's done.
I can't believe I said some of this. When the swallow for the funeral, I offered. Oh, here we go. I did. I offered. The Lord put it on my heart. Give me the number to the funeral home. I'll call them right now. Give my credit card number. Pay for the bill. But then the grandson came back and said the funeral had been paid for, but it was $12,000 missing. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just telling what they said. So now we go into no insurance, asking them for GoFundMe after we know that there was a voluminous amount of money made. Darius, and my edible is starting to kick in. So if this takes a turn left, I'm sorry. Log off now. Darius, how you know that they have made some money? You ain't seen a Treese Allen on live stream? Which one? The one from the other day? No. What she said? Treese Allen had said that they gotta pay taxes out that money. She gonna owe about $30, $40, $50, $60,000. She said how much? She got to pay taxes out that money. About $30, $40, $50, $60,000. You say what? Oh, she got to pay taxes out that money. If you got to pay $30, $40, $50, $60,000 out of anything, you made it. Then that means you made it. Huh? As someone who frequently writes multi-5-figure checks to Uncle and Auntie Sam and Samantha. You know, it's 2023, child. You got to, okay, all lives, not all lives. What do you call it? All genders matter, okay? All genders matter. I ain't with that all lives matter bullshit. All genders matter. Your child left, not right.
He's right. He's right. If you are paying Uncle, he's right, y'all, whether you like him or not. If you have to write Uncle Sam a check for $30,000, do you hear me? I'm going to say it one time. If you got to write Uncle Sam a check for $30,000 for taxes, you could have only made net upwards to $1 million. Period. Argue with your mama in the comments. I'm not here to fight nobody. Nobody. If you write Uncle Sam a check for $30,000 in taxes, you made net $1 million. Okay? And I'm pretty sure they're not classified as an S corp, which would have lowered their tax bracket. That's probably what they're going to do now for this calendar year for 2022. I'm sorry, for 2024. But in 2022, they probably didn't register as an S corp, which lowers their tax bracket. They was making a cool million. They made at least $1 million. They made at least $1 million because I don't pay $30,000 in taxes. And we're a registered S corp.
It's a left. I could be extreme Democrat, extreme left. I'm more like I'm a centralist.
Not a centralist.
So the question is still, at this point, is where the money at? Now, I ain't following too closely, but I'm going to tell you one line I recall. Latrice even verified this. The girl said it on the live stream. Shell said it. You might remember this, Shell. You might see this video. Hey, Shell, man. If you need a potato salad recipe for the what you call it, you let me know. All right. I don't know who do the potato salad or the cabbages, but I make the best cabbage. So if you need a recipe for the cabbage, call me, okay? I mean, you probably don't want to call me, but I'm here for you. I know what it's like to lose a grandmother. Okay? So if Shell said that she just bought a new car. Latrice said she bought the car to take the grandmother around for her appointment. I told you, I know this family are good, but one thing I do know, if the physician, the oncologist, called down to the 4th floor hospice department, ain't no more appointments. I don't know much about life, but one thing I do know is if the 9th floor oncology clerk called down to the 5th floor or the 4th floor hospice department, and they put your manila folder with the letters and the color coding, you know, red, green, blue, purple. They put that, if they put that into the tube and put the tube into the machine and it go up in the air and then go down to 4 or 5, ain't no more appointment. That was your last appointment.
He needs to stop. Listen, and I just want to just make this clear. There's nothing wrong with how they lived, them being luxury, them buying houses and cars. I have no problem with that. I don't pocket watch people. I don't care about that. What I'm saying is, here's my overall argument, because I kind of want to be done with this Mrs. Hollis story. Darius Cooks is the reason why he's the martyr is because he said what we were all thinking. That's it. He just said what all of us were thinking. And let's be for real. Everybody stop acting holier than thou. Okay. You're not in church. You can release the veil. Okay. Darius Cooks only said what we were thinking. That's it. Okay. That's it. You may not like the messenger, but he definitely delivered the proper message. He was only saying what we were all thinking. If you were making upwards to $1 million a year on Facebook, regardless of your taxes or not, why couldn't you just put away the bare minimum $5,000 for your own mother? It's that simple. Okay, it's that simple. So regardless of how you feel about Darius Cooks, just kind of ignore the messenger and focus on the message, right? Don't shoot the messenger, even though most of us don't like him. Just focus on the message, okay? What he said is true. And yes, he is quite petty. He is quite petty. I'm not paying attention to the petty stuff. I am laughing in the background, but I'm not paying attention to the petty stuff. He only said what everyone was thinking, right? Because it shows a level of disrespect for Mrs. Holla. It shows a level of disrespect, in my personal opinion. That was disrespectful for everyone to be buying $30,000, $40,000 cars and $300,000 houses and simply couldn't just simply just put a couple dollars away for her funeral. That was it. But I already told you guys my synopsis. They definitely have the money. They do. I don't think they don't have the money. I think that they were so accustomed to their audience paying for everything that they stretched their audience's generosity too far. I think they do have the money. I still think they have still a boatload of that money, and they're still making money, still boatloads of that money. I think that they thought, well, they pay for everything else. Let's see if they'll pay for her funeral. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did. Because remember, lottery, frappe, and laughs never have been under such a tiny or a large microscope. Okay. And they've gotten away with everything else under the sun. And when they decided to throw all their eggs in this basket, like, hey, her audience pays for everything else. Let's see if they'll pay for her funeral. And they shot themselves too close to the sun and got burned. They got the money, but not without the backlash. And they should have never did that. They definitely had the money to bury her. They definitely had enough money to pay their tax, and they still do. They definitely had enough money to give her a beautiful service. They had extended their greed too far. And they said, I want to see if her audience will pay for it. And they did, but not without backlash. Not without backlash. Not without backlash. So that's really the only thing that I have to say. I want to get to some of your comments because that's just my personal assessment. I don't think that they broke. I don't think they ever been broke. I'll never believe that. I don't think that they had no understanding of monetization. I think they knew exactly how monetization worked. I think they were just saying, let's see if they'll pay for it. They got greedy. That's all it is. They just got greedy. And you know what's a clear indication they got greedy? When they raised that first $10,000 on that GoFundMe, they should have shut it down. There was no reason for them to keep that GoFundMe open for an additional $40,000. There's no reason for them to do that. There was no reason for them to leave it open for an additional $40,000 if it was simply just to bury their grandmother. They kept it open for greed. It's that simple. Okay, it's that simple. That GoFundMe was a true testament of everything Darius Cooks had said. Everything he had said. It was always about the money. Because if it was simply, hey, we just really need money to bury her. We're just in a real tight pinch. You guys, can you please help us out? Please, please, please. Bam, as soon as it hit 10,000, they should have closed it. They kept it open gratuitously for an additional $40,000. And then they said, oh, let's close it. The donations seem to be slowing down. Let's just close it. That was greed, honey. It had nothing to do with Mrs. Holla or preserving her legacy. So you can hate the messenger, but don't hate the message. Okay, don't hate the message. I want to get some more y'all. I know the comments be going, y'all. This from Dancer's Bear says I'm late. Oh, that's okay. This from Jazzy Old Lady says this. The hospice stuff is why I was all in. They used Holla lying. That triggered me bad. Oh wow. Wow. Darius Cooks. Yeah, right. I agree. I agree too, Gat. I do. I agree. This from Jaleesa says, right. I agree. They knew that she was in her last days and should have been prepared. Hell yeah. They got cars and houses, honey. That's it. This is from Robs says they definitely could put money aside for just a little bit. Just a little. This from Lil Kim. What's up, Lil Kim? Says Bahala's grandson said the funeral had already been paid for and the GoFundMe was a way to, and I quote, pimp the people. Yep. 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 Mm. Yep. This from Weston says, so the audience has paid for it. Now the audience can see the service. I feel like if the audience pays for a funeral, I feel like if your audience pays for your funeral, the audience should be able, they should throw a big ceremony where people, especially if they're a public figure, so that the people can go and pay their respects like Shanquilla's family did. Even though people didn't know Shanquilla, I like the fact that Shanquilla's family, instead of having a tight knit service and telling people thanks for the money, get out of our faces, they had a big service because they saw how much love and support that people had for Shanquilla. So I think, in my personal opinion, this is what Mrs. Hollis should do. She had over 1 million followers on her Facebook page, and people they rode hard for her. I think they can have a private service and a private wake, but I think they should have a large memorial for her because so many people loved her. So even though Shanquilla was not a public figure, she did open up a lot of people's eyes on friendship and travel and what it means to have friends who are really there for you. And the fact that her story had went global, it was a global story. The story was covered, you guys, as far as France and Japan. So her story was huge. It was huge, and it brought out a lot of other stories and allow other police departments to investigate very unusual cases of friends going on vacation, but only two of them coming back. So Shanquilla's family having that large service, a memorial for just people to come and pay their respects, I thought that was very, very. It was the right move to make. It was the right move to make, specifically on how big her case had got. I want to say Kanika Jenkins' family did the same thing, and so did Trayvon Martin's family. When your story like really grips the headlines, and you amass a ton of money in support of burying your child who you had no idea would even die, and you open up a large memorial for people, I think that's beautiful. They did the same thing with Takeoff, but he's a public figure. You understand what I mean? But I like that they did that with Takeoff's funeral too. That they just had this like large thing. They do it most of the time, but I think that's what they should do for Mrs. Hall. If they don't do it, I'm completely writing that family off. If they decide that they say we want a tiny private service with only family and friends, they don't care about her fans. They never did. It was just a cash grab. This from Lola Grace says, y'all can't get mad. Who's y'all? If people still wanted to give after they saw the money and had reached 10K. Who's y'all? People give thief money to who they want. Theft money? Gift money to whoever they want. If people favor you, you will receive. Okay, this from Shell says, or this from Jazzy says, Shell did all this against the family's wishes. Allegedly, Shell wasn't working already. This from Queen Shell says, yeah, when I seen a love, when I seen a love when she was 6 months ago, I knew they were using her. I stopped watching right then. Rip Mrs. Hollow. Oh, that's really sad. This is from Creole Sanders. What's up, Creole? So the service is private now and will not be streamed. They did a live and said it will be live streamed. What do we know? Said it won't be streamed. Because it's crazy. The whole story is, I don't know. It just smash that like button, y'all. Don't be ignorant. The whole story the whole thing is just weird, you know. He said it will be not be streamed. Well, I'm with you on that, Rob. Oh, okay. This from Reese says, because their new lifestyle is more the priority than landing grandma under the rest. Apparently. It's it's a spokesperson for the granddaughter said it won't be streamed. Thank you, AK. Dang, that's messed up. That's messed up. That's because of the backlash. She has more supporters than because the backlash that her grandchildren did. Mrs. Holla didn't have no backlash. Those grandkids did. So I don't see why they don't stream her funeral. But that's just not I guess it's not our business. But that's messed up. Yeah, that's crazy. This is from Keon. Says Shell wanted it to be open to the family, and the family didn't want it opened. Wanted to be open. You mean open to the audience, or open, or just for the family? Open to the public. Thank you. She wanted it to be open to the public. Their family didn't want it open. That's messed up. They should have it open to the public because yeah, that's just oh. Well, I gotta agree with Darius Cooks as much as I dislike the bald-headed fella. I actually agree with him on this story. I don't agree with all the anecdotes of him like side shading people, but everything else he said, I was thinking for sure when I was sent this story. So, that's. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. Let me get to the rest.
God gave us wisdom to know that time is drawing down. Now, she lives 97 years. It's a beautiful life. Beautiful life. And loved by many. But ain't no more appointments. Shell, what appointment we taking sis to? Sis can't go to no appointments. Shell, she on hospice. Why you tell us you want to come take her to her appointment? She ain't got no appointments. Huh? Okay. So, this is why I stay in trouble right there. This is why I stay in trouble. Right? Something is seriously wrong with me. Why did I say anytime you call down from Shell?
He a mess.
Anytime they call down from the 9th floor oncology clerk, I don't even know if oncology is on 9. I don't know what floor oncology is on, but I don't
He a mess. He a mess. He a mess. But that's the end of his live stream. So today at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back because we have to go over 2 live streams. One with Tasha that she did last night. Tasha K sat down with King Payne, and she also sat down with the Wiley Show. And I'm interested to seeing what she had to say because she did a live stream yesterday. So did Larry Reed and Armand Wiggins, and everybody was live yesterday in my time slot, okay, which I found the craziest. Why everybody in my time slot? So everybody was in my time slot and spreading my audience thin. So what we're going to do is we're going to review her sit-down interviews with the Wiley Show and King Payne and see what she has to say. So we'll be back at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. So you guys literally 5 hours, and I'll see you guys tonight. I'm going to go get some lunch. I'm starving. I'm going to go get some lunch, but I'll see you guys later, okay? Tonight. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out. Don't be ignorant, okay? All right, you guys. Bye-bye.